BEVIS, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast here today at the Wasserman HQ, joined by Mr. Brad Pauls. How are we, mate?
I'm really good, cheers, mate. Good to see you. It's been a while, isn't it?
It's been so long. I just said to you, it feels like ages ago you fought Robbie Chapman. God knows when you was last on IFL, but you told me it was the stuff of Idris. So let's be honest, there's a bit of a time gap to catch up on. So I'm just going to let you take the floor and say, what on earth has gone on since you've last been on IFL?
Oh, I've been missing boxing, mate. I've been missing. Now, pandemic, got a job. First time, probably properly as an adult, got a job. Worked in a special needs school over the pandemic, see me through. Eye-opener, it's tough. But did that for about a year and a half, and then sponsors come back in, so I packed the job in. And then I'm back, training every day, preparing for fights, what I'm meant to be doing in my life.
I mean, yeah, it was quite a quick summary, but just quickly on the fact, so you worked in a special needs school for a while, which is obviously like the complete opposite end of the spectrum to being a professional boxer. What was you ever like a teacher before then? Because it's not something you could just sort of jump into very quickly, I imagine.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for people like disability stuff like that, and it's sort of it's quite touching. But I just sort of stumbled upon that job, and I found it quite interesting. And some of the kids had behaviour. I know they were trying to punch me and stuff like that. So the boxing did come.
I would say they definitely didn't land, did they? Let's be honest.
No. I could obviously use my defences, but I couldn't attack back. So I was just slipping and rolling them. But yeah, no, honestly, the truth, yeah, it was a bit like that. So it just filled the gap till I was boxing again, really.
Yeah. And I do want to quickly brush over the Idris Virgo stuff. I do feel like that's a chapter closed. Now you're Simon Wasserman and you're on to different things now. But just quickly on that. So I think you jumped on a Zoom with Umar and Steve Goodwin, and that's when Steve said he would put forward a hefty lump sum for you to fight Idris. And I feel like he sort of wanted to get someone to beat Idris and sort of clear him out of the boxing game. That's the idea I got. And that was at the time when Idris was calling everyone out. How do you feel about that situation now? And is it a chapter closed?
I feel like he sort of showed who he really was by not taking the fight. Like, Steve proved the funds. Steve's got plenty of money, 125k he showed. And there was just no way he would have took the fight. There's nothing we could have done, said, or it doesn't matter that it could have been $1 million, he wouldn't have took the fight. So, it was a bit annoying in a way. I still would like to fight him. And one of his arguments was that I'm not signed with a TV company now, so... Well, times changed, Idris. So I'm signed with Wasserman. Let's get it on, son.
Maybe the chapter hasn't closed.
Yeah.
Who knows? So genuinely, that is something that, just before we move on to talk about the Wasserman deal, that is something that straight up could still happen. It
could still happen. Now that the dynamics have changed a bit, I've got a platform, but still don't think he'll fight me. He still wants the journeyman, so...
All right, well, talking about the deal today, obviously we had everyone go up there, say their little piece, and you can just tell, I've said this to everyone, so I'm going to repeat it to you as well, you can just tell by the setup today that there's a bit of substance behind this. They're back nicely financially, so they've got nice offices in central London. This is like a real proper setup. This ain't, I don't know the word, but this is proper, innit?
Yeah, it's the vibe, innit? You can just tell by the vibe, the setup's amazing. And one of the photographers showed me a piece of paper with a list of names on it of all the fighters, and you read through it and you're like, shit, man, it's a proper stable. Like, before, when it was all getting announced, I was like, well, maybe if it's just Chris Eubank, they had really was like the main name. I was like, well, are you gonna wait for him to box and then just box on his undercards and then wait until he boxes again? But now look at the stable. There could be separate main events. Josh Kelly, Nathan Gorman. Who else do you have on that side today? Kelly, Nathan Gorman.
Harlem Eubank signed today. But they're not funny. Look at the boys who signed before. Like, there's a serious amount, like you said, of different main eventers here. Isn't there?
Yeah. So it's more opportunities to fight. So I just gaining momentum, like even more. So glad to be part of it, man. The dynamics are changing.
Yeah, and obviously you've been out of the ring for a while. Last fought Robbie Chapman, who, like you said, obviously. We said to me before, since then has gone on the road, and you still speak to Robbie a bit, and I feel like he's one of the people that everyone loves in boxing, but my God, mate, that feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah, mate, that's all I've got to look back on at the minute. But Robbie's a legend, mate. Robbie's a legend. I love that guy, and he's a great servant to the sport. He's going around on the road and making a few quid, so fair play to him. That was November 2019. So, 2 years ago by the time I get in the ring. And, fond memories, mate. We've just got to make some more.
And with those memories, obviously, starts with your first fight under the Wasserman banner. Because you've been out for so long, and we know you're going to want big fights and you'll get big fights, but because you've been out for so long, is the first fight back going to be not an easy touch, but just something to whet the appetite, get you back in the swing of things, and then next year we go hard?
Yeah, that's the plan. Like, I think I wouldn't give myself every advantage if I just jumped straight back in with the hardest fight ever after 2 years out the ring. And it's not even just, like they say, the ring rust. It's like, I haven't made weight since I was 26. I haven't sold any tickets in 2 years. I haven't just gone through the motions of a training camp. So, I think the smart thing is to have a warm-up fight, and not particularly too easy, but then I want to fight in December on the next Wasserman card and then have a proper fight.
Yeah, obviously former Southern Area champion as well, so there's still a domestic route there for you to go English, British, and domestically, like, there's some pretty sexy fights, isn't there?
Yeah, there's loads. I've just got to navigate around Linus. It's just the story of my career, just navigate, because obviously he was the English champion and I had to wait for him. So, but yeah, he's moved on. So, mate, there's loads at middleweight at the minute, so it's exciting. I won't call anyone out, but there's plenty of opportunities for good belts. So I'm, glad to be part of it.
How much dough would it take for you to fight like this?
Oh, you put me on the spot here, mate.
Just out of interest, like, because obviously, like Steve Goodwin's put, what was it, 125 grand for Idris, and obviously you jump at that. But let's say you put 125 grand for you and Linus. Like, it's life-changing money, that, isn't it?
Good question. Where's Terry go? Where's the coach go? Does a round in mine and a round in his? Like that? So first round Linus, round me?
I'm not talking, I don't know about the logistics, I'm just talking, right, Terry just sits back and watches.
Do it in the gym every week. Exactly. A price on it. I'd have to be able to buy a house of it, so I'd say in Cornwall at the minute about 450. I'd say, 450 grand. I'd fight Linus. Yeah,
it's a nice and cheap, man. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be with love. Everything would be with love and with hug after. But that's a weird thought, man. Done about 1,000 rounds with a guy. Probably be boring, mate, because we know each other's tricks. Do you know what I mean? Well,
450 grand. There you go. Wasserman, Steve. Someone's got the money, isn't they? Yeah. Anyway, sweet, Brad. Thank you very much for speaking to me. And like I said, go once before the year, and then next year, so many sick fights. So I'm just looking forward to seeing you out again, because it's been way too long.
Thanks for having me, man. See you soon.